verbally, I am tendering my irrevocable resignation as the Speaker of the House of the Republic of the Philippines.
With 186 votes, with 186 affirmative votes, we now have ratified the election of the new Speaker of the House, Speaker Lord Alan Velasco. Congratulations. May the chair would like to request you, Speaker of the House, Speaker Velasco, to please come over. And the chair is relinquishing the House to Speaker-elect Velasco.
First, para muna sa inyo, Secretary Roque, what is the Palace reaction to the House ratification of the election of Marinduque Representative Lord Alan Velasco as the new House Speaker? And perhaps do we have a message also to Congressman Alan Peter Cayetano, who recently tendered his irrevocable resignation as House Speaker?
Well, consistent naman po ang ating presidente. Ang paghalal po ng mga liderato sa mababang kapulungan ay desisyon ng mga individual na mga representante natin. So we respect the wish of the members of the House of Representatives on who will be their speaker. No? And if it is true that it has been ratified, then so be it. In Avellino versus Cuenco, the Supreme Court ruled that only the members of the House and the Senate can determine their leadership. Good luck to those elected, and congratulations to those elected by their peers in the House of Representatives. I'm just emphasizing kasi sabi mo nagkaroon na ng ratifikasyon, no? But as of the time I went on the air at 12, wala pa akong ganung balita, no? What I do know is the session held yesterday. Now I also know that si Congressman Cayetano apparently had a Facebook Live, no, where he apparently resigned, no. So I do not know factually if there has been a ratification of the election yesterday, no. So pardon me po kasi we went on the air at around 11:50, no.
Sir, this morning po kasi actually minutes before we air dito sa press briefing, nagkaroon na ng session sa Congress. And,
okay. Our congratulations then to the new Speaker of the House, Congressman Lord Alan Velasco. But as I said, that's a decision of the House of Representatives which the President respects.
Sir, given this development na formally si Velasco na po ang House Speaker and then nag-resign na nga po si Cayetano, para saan po yung meeting ni Pangulong Duterte calling these two congressmen dyan sa Palasyo?
Hindi ko po alam because as of the time I made the announcement at 10:30, I was just instructed that a meeting was called for 12:30 today and that both congressmen were expected to attend. Hindi ko po alam kung superseded na ng developments itong meeting nito. But I suppose if the President called for the meeting, it probably will push through still. Okay?
And you mentioned, sir, that the meeting was for the passage of the 2021 national budget. So up to this time, the President is not yet convinced na given his earlier warnings ay hindi pa rin mapapasa ang budget on time.
Let's just say that with the events in the House of Representatives yesterday, no, parang nagkaroon ng talagang real danger na baka hindi mapasa ang budget on time. Okay? Thank you very much,
Apo,
Joyce.
Sir, isa lang on cabinet meeting. Apo, isa lang on cabinet meeting,
Secretary. 3 questions lang tayo. Tignan natin kung meron tayong second round, Joyce. Ha? Baka may second round tayo. Yusek Rocky, please.
Yes, thank you, Secretary Roque. From Virgil Lopez of GMA News Online. Allies of Congressman Lord Alan Velasco elected him Speaker yesterday. Will the President recognize Velasco as the new leader of the House?
I think superseded na yung question na yan, no? Because I understand that there's been a ratification of the election yesterday. So, of course, he is now the new Speaker of the House.
Hi, sir. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Secretary Abisado, Secretary Bello.
Hi, Joseph.
First question, sir, Secretary Roque. Okay, as far as Malacanang is concerned, who is this House Speaker?
That's as far as the House of Representatives is concerned. They have ratified the election of Congressman Lord Alan Velasco, no? But as I said, no, I did not see the actual ratification made by the House. I'm relying on the report of Joyce Balancio earlier to me. Kasi nga, by the time we went on the air, hindi ko na po napanood kung ano nangyayari sa House. So if it has been ratified, and it had to be ratified in Congress itself, well, congratulations po to Congressman Lord Alan Velasco as the new Speaker of the House.
Okay, sir. Second source mo, ako, yes, yes, that was ratified, and former Speaker Cayetano has tendered his resignation. So
Yes.
Malacanang recognizes
Of course.
Congressman Velasco as the new Speaker.
Our consistent position has been it is the House of Representatives that will choose their leaders, and if it has been ratified, then it is Speaker Lord Alan Velasco.
Yes, sir. How much of this is the handiwork of President Duterte?
I think it is still the individual decisions of the House of Representatives. As I announced at 10:30, they were supposed to have a meeting, and although the agenda was the budget, it was also indirectly how to resolve the impasse, because otherwise the passage of the budget might be derailed. No? So I think nagkasundo naman yung parehong panig.
Okay. So sir, ano ba yung masabay ba sila Kong Velasco at saka Kong Cayetano, magkaharap sila sa meeting mamaya or magkahiwalay?
Hindi ko po alam na ngayon kung matutuloy pa, pero pinatawag po yan ng Presidente, and my assumption is it is a face-to-face meeting between the three of them.
All right. Sir, just one last question for you before I go shortly to Secretary Avisado. Sir, would you call this intervention? Or would you still deny that this is intervention, or this is a necessary intervention?
This was
On the part of the
a
President.
decision of the members of the House of Representatives on a purely internal matter.
And the President had nothing to do with that?
Hindi ko po alam kasi ang sabi ko nga po, nagpatawag siya ng pagpupulong, pero even before the meeting happened, nagkaroon na po ng resolution ang leadership issue.
Okay, Secretary, from Chris Jose of Remate, yung daw pong pag-imbita po ba ng PCOO sa kanilang laging handa briefing kay Congressman Velasco ay pagkilala na bilang bagong Speaker ng mababang kapulungan ng Kongreso, at si Congressman Cayetano ay dating House Speaker.
Mountain academic na po. Speaker na po talaga si Speaker Lord Alan Velasco.
Opo. Secretary, basahin ko na lang po yung second question ni Chris Jose. Sinabi po ni Congressman Cayetano na hindi raw po kikilalanin ng mayorya ng mga mababata si Marinduque Representative Lord Alan Velasco bilang bagong House Speaker dahil peke ang idinaos sa sesyon at paghalad dito ng kanyang mga supporters. Bilang isang dating mambabatas at isang abogado, sang-ayon po ba kayo sa sinabi ni Congressman Cayetano? Paano niyo po ilalarawan ng tila pagkakaroon po ng dalawang speaker sa Kamara? Sinabi po ni Congressman Cayetano na kapag iginit daw po ng kampo ni Velasco ang pagiging speaker nito at mga ginawa ng kanyang kampo ay mistulang Banana Republic na po ang bansa.
Mountain academic na po yan, na-ratify na po ang eleksyon kahapon kaninang umaga.
Salamat, Secretary.
Trish Terada, please, CNN.
Hi, good afternoon, Secretary Roque. Good afternoon din po kay Secretary Avisado at Secretary Bello. Sir, dito po sa nangyayaring mga kaganapan sa Congress, how would you assess the weight of the President's address recently and this leadership in overall, sir?
I think the message was received by everyone that the President really needed the early passage of the proposed 2021 budget. Kung hindi po siguro dahil dito, lalo pang napahaba yung agawan sa pwesto. No? Pero the President, I think, made it very, very clear that at the time of COVID, hindi po pwede maantala yung budget niya para maging kasagutan dito sa pandemya ito. And we thank the House of Representatives for that.
So, kumbaga po, sir, itong mensahe ni Pangulo, this triggered all the movements. Kumbaga, it caused an action on the part of lawmakers, do you think?
I cannot read their minds, but I think the message has been received that the priority is the budget, not politics.
Sir, dito lang po ulit sa nangyayari sa Congress, no? Isn't the whole gathering, the number of people and the way videos and pictures would show us, walang mga distancing, some people sometimes even don't wear masks. Hindi po ba to a violation of the quarantine protocols? And if it is, what does this say about our leaders, clearly violating protocols, if ever?
I leave it to the House of Representatives to address. Napakahirap naman po that the President, being a co-equal branch, will interfere even with the manner by which the House of Representatives met. No? So we leave it to them po. Highlighting na kinakailangan lahat po ng mga namumuno sa bayan dito ay iisa po ang boses pagdating sa mask, hugas at iwas.
But on the part of IATF, will someone be held liable for quarantine protocol violations here?
We leave it na po to the House of Representatives kasi pati po yung issue ng pananagutan, accountability, the members of Congress can only be held accountable by their peers. Yan po ang consistent ruling ng ating Korte Suprema. Kaya
Sir,
meron
siguro
po
last na
silang
po, still
House Ethics Committee.
Apo. Sir, siguro po last na on this leadership issue.
Can we go back siguro sa round 2, no? Kasi we're enforcing the 3 questions rule. So we'll go back to you if we have time. Yusek Rocky, please.
All right, thank you, Secretary.
Thank you very much, Trish.
Secretary, a question from Marisol Halidi of TV5. How will the development in Congress yesterday affect the passage of the 2021 national budget?
Mutan academic na po, we expect that it will be approved on third and final reading within the period covered by the President's proclamation between today until the 16th.
Hi, sirs. Good afternoon to all the cabinet members present.
Hi. Good afternoon.
Yes po. So for Secretary Roque, for on the record, sir, did the President have anything to do at all with convincing lawmakers in the House to vote for Speaker Velasco, or did Speaker Velasco do everything, lobby for votes all on his own?
The President was consistent from the very beginning. It's an internal matter of the House. But certainly when there was an impasse, and there was an impasse when we had the events yesterday, he called for both, no? At 12:30 today. And I'm not even sure if that will still push through, no? So I think it is fair to say that the President respected the separation of powers and allowed the members of the House to vote for whomever they want to vote as their Speaker.
Okay, so he had no part in convincing them to side with Velasco. Kasi sir, parang may change of heart, diba? From 184 with Cayetano, some of them went to Velasco. So parang they were convinced somehow to change sides.
Not the President.